Hey, thanks so much for clicking on this video and welcome to the Haves and the Have-Nots review here on YouTube. If you're a fan of Tyler Perry, you've come to the right place. Be sure to click that subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content on the channel. And also check me out on these social media platforms, and links in the description below will lead you to my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook group, and Facebook page. Once again, thanks for joining in and enjoy the video. All right, Have and Have-Not fans. Now, I've thought about how to approach this subject because ever since the last episode, what was it called? The committee ending with, Jeffrey and Madison making out briefly before Veronica interrupts. I've seen a lot of posts in the Have and Have. I'm in 8 Facebook group. Yeah, I'm a member of like 8 Have and Have Not Facebook groups. I go in there, I talk to some people here and there, and I post, maybe a video or a meme here and there. But I also have a group of my own, as well as the Facebook page, and then of course my Twitter, Instagram, and my YouTube channel. And I have been asked a couple times about this, and not to mention I've seen plenty of posts about this as well. But I just wanted to think about how to actually do this video because, number one, it is not my intention to offend anyone whatsoever by talking about this subject. I mean, it goes way back to that video I did about, was the Justin and Jeffrey scene too much? That scene where, Veronica walks in on those two in David's condo and they're making, the orgasm faces and whatnot. And I thought that was just, wow, a bit much. But, I got a lot of backlash. Well, actually, I got a mixed bag of comments and reactions to the video. So this video is asking the question that I've been asked a lot in terms like, yo, man, I want to get your thoughts on this because I know you watch the show and you dissect it and whatnot. And a lot of people are asking, are there too many GT? Actually, sorry. You know what? Let me back it up because I don't want to pull a Veronica and mess up the abbreviation. And people's like, yo, you're homophobic because you don't know the politically correct term. I'm going on Google. I think it's LBGT, but I just want to double check. Just one moment. LGBT. Okay, LGBT. All right, just want to make sure. I think I messed up a letter there. Let me put it this way. As the show has gone on, I don't really care, if there are gay characters in the show. The one thing I've always said is like, I don't think that they should make Wyatt gay just to be with Jeffrey. To be completely honest, I'm more interested if a good story is told with character development. Like for me, Wyatt and Jeffrey, my favorite scenes of them are when they're being friendly with each other. And I mean, like legitimate friends. What was it? It was like after, Toxic, forced himself on Wyatt in jail. Wyatt got out of jail and he wanted to run away from his parents' house. So we got Jeffrey to pick him up. And then Jeffrey literally went off on his ass because he was done with Wyatt treating him like crap because he's gay. And after that, that's when they went to the tow company, found a black sedan there. Then Wyatt got the video of Veronica and Benny, having sex, even though I'm not sure that's ever going to be used for anything. But in those moments, I like that because it was like Jeffrey putting his foot down. Yeah, I'm in love with you, Wyatt, but at the same time, I'm a person. And then Wyatt actually was treating him like a friend. Those scenes are like my favorite. Just seeing people like that interacting as good characters, not so much like, oh, I'm going to change to be with you. I don't really care about that. If done right, then yeah, but for Wyatt's character, I think he needs a friend more than anything else. Same thing with Jeffrey. When Madison first showed up, people were asking me like, yo, do you think Madison and Jeffrey? I'm like, yeah, it seems pretty obvious that they will, but to be honest, I think Jeffrey needs a friend more than a lover at this point. I mean, I think he needs to just really, these characters have been through a lot, and to just say that a relationship will instantly take the load off is almost like, a drug. Like, well, maybe a drug isn't the best phrase to use since so many characters in this show get high. It's kind of like an alleviant where for a short period of time, you feel good, but at the same time, you're still going through a lot of shit. Maybe the point is, it's not about having a lover or a relationship or a future boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, then wife or husband. It's kind of like David told Jeffrey, sometimes it's good to have somebody to help you through the rough times. And, you can't always shoulder the load yourself. So with Madison and Jeffrey, I mean, I thought it would just be best for them to be friends. But, thing, them kissing and whatnot. Turns out I actually had a crush on you in high school, like you had a crush on me. I mean, yeah, that's okay, but at the same time, I was like, I feel like oversaturation. It's not so much about how many gay characters are in the show, how many straight characters are on the show, how many characters are just having sex to have sex. It's just like there's too much going on. I feel like Tyler Perry sometimes just, goes from like 0 to 120 in the car in terms of these characters really not connecting with each other before they start making out and having sex. So for me, I don't really know if I can say that there are too many gay characters in the show. I don't really think that's the problem. I think the problem is that there are just way too many characters being introduced into the show, not just gay, straight, black, white, Hispanic, whatever. I think there are just way too many characters on the show. And you've heard me talk about this a lot, where these storylines really need to get resolved. Madison, I did not mind Madison. Reason being is because he showed up, and within a few minutes, I instantly liked the character. I mean, he works at the hospital where David's at. He has a brief history with Jeffrey from high school. I just like that he has some exposition behind him. We didn't need like an origin story episode for it. It's like within a few minutes, I instantly liked the character because it felt like he easily flowed into the story. Same thing with Melissa's mother in her initial scene when she was in the hospital room with Melissa and Jeffrey. Within a few minutes, you got a feel for who the character was. And again, she was connected to an already established character, and she added even more backstory, talking about how Melissa has had a past of being suicidal and a troublemaker in regards to, not doing what her parents wanted. I like that. Charles, on the other hand, is the poster boy of a character who just showed up, who has like a big backstory behind him in regards to running for president and whatnot, but it just seemed way out of left field because of the fact that you went from Candace screwing around with like governors and judges, governor elects, people who are trying to run for governor, and then judges and whatnot. Now all of a sudden she's at the presidential level. That was too far of a jump. But when you have characters who appear who already have an established history with main characters. Yes, I know that Charles and Derek briefly talked at the Artesian Hotel bar for a little bit, and it was pretty established that they knew each other, but it really didn't matter because those two never interacted after that. I mean, David said that, hey, after everything that, I'm in the papers for nowadays, it might not be best for you to be seen with me, but that was it. But when it comes to the gay characters on the show, I'm going to speak from what I've seen because, again, I can't really speak on whether or not the gay community is being properly represented into the show because, well, I'm straight, so I can't really say that, oh, well, that's offensive. It's kind of like me saying, Wyatt, Wyatt is a bad representation of white people because guess what? I'm not white, I'm black. So really, based off what I've seen from the fans and what they've, tweeted me and what they've said on different videos I do, or even the various Facebook groups I'm in, they just say that there are too many gay no, it's like, it's not the number of gay characters, it's the number of misrepresentations, when it comes to Justin, Justin just being like this crazed, obsessive, closeted person who refuses to admit he's gay, who refuses to admit that he's in love with another man. That he's in love with another man, but that's not really how people act. I mean, I'm not going to say they're wrong on that, but I mean, I feel like there's a lot of misrepresentation within the show, not just with the gay community, but also with, black women, for example. And yes, I know I'm not a woman, and I am black though, but I grew up, sister, mom, my dad was there, but mainly, I think most of my interactions, like my aunts and whatnot, I would see them. I think that Tyler Perry dialed up the stereotype of the crazy, controlling bitch black woman. I mean, I feel like a lot of people can agree with that. But I don't know, guys. It's just weird. I don't. It's kind of like, with the CW when it comes to like the Flash and Black Lightning and all the other hero shows. Yeah, I mean, I in that department, I can definitely see why people would feel like, man, why do you have to have so many characters just to push agendas? Like, I believe on Supergirl this season they have like a transgender character. She plays a role at Catco. Look, I haven't watched Legends or Supergirl this season, or I think I watched the first 2 episodes of Arrow. I'm still 2 episodes behind on. Well, actually, no. I've actually caught up on the Flash as of this morning, and I have caught up on Black Lightning. Is like the only show I watch religiously. Like I watch it back to back to back. Like I think Nora, Barry and Iris's daughter from the future, she may be a lesbian. We don't know for sure, but I know there was a female in this recent episode who hit on her, and she kind of, embraced it until her mom came up to kind of, cock block her. So, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I get the inclusion thing, so I don't want to sound hateful because, I mean, not just recent times, it's all about, there's not enough black characters on TV shows and movies and whatnot. Now, it's the whole, well, there aren't enough diversity in terms of the gay community or transgender community and this and that. So, we just live in a time where, it's all inclusion. Here's my response to that. I don't really mind people being included. It doesn't matter what race, sexuality, or whatever the case may be. It's just a matter of, is the story surrounding it good? Are you just pushing someone into the show or movie just to kind of, check off that box on, okay, all right, so we got a mainly white cast. We got the sarcastic black sidekick. Ooh, but we do have a black superhero on this particular show. Oh, let's see. We do need like 1 or 2 gay people just to make sure we don't get backlash for that. Oh, let's roll the dice. We'll put a transgender in there too. I feel like there are companies that do that. It's just about, it's kind of like like affirmative action, where it's like, oh well, we got a quota here. We need a minimum of 5 black people in a company where we have 120 white people and 2 Mexicans and 3 Asians, just to make sure we're not being accused of racial bias. I mean, that's literally what the world is for the most part. I mean, I know that's kind of a cynical way of looking at things, but let's be completely honest here. Things are somewhat getting better a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's all about, making everyone feel involved. But at the same time, are you really making people feel involved and included, or are you just checking off a box on your list? That way you don't face backlash. Because once again, it really comes down to, are you putting gay people, black people into a movie or TV show because it fits the story, or are you just plugging them in there for inclusion's sake? That's all I'm saying. So when asked the question, are there too many gay people in the haves and the have-nots? To be honest, nah, I don't really think so. I just feel like the story isn't being told well, like for Landon, and like him pining after a straight man. It's kind of like, you're recycling the season 1 story of Jeffrey pining after Wyatt. Also, I feel like that's a complete waste of the Landon character. I feel like Landon's way too good to be, playing that same role. I thought his character was really good when he was there. Same thing. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded if him and Jeffrey got together, to be completely honest. Those two just, I feel like in season 1, when Jeffrey was actually being a counselor for Wyatt, I felt like Landon was being that to Jeffrey, like Wyatt kicking his addictions, Jeffrey kicking the door to the closet and finally embracing who he really is. That's how I felt with that. But when it comes down to it, I think another big argument amongst the community is the fact that they don't like that straight people are playing gay roles. I could see that. I mean, some people would say that, and I can't really speak for the gay community, but I do know there are some from that community on this channel. So if you're watching this video, just feel free to chime in the comments. How do you feel about it? Because some people, I feel like maybe some gay people who see straight people playing that role of a gay person, to them that might be the equivalent of how African Americans see white people playing blackface, with the black, brown paint on their face and whatnot. And it's almost like a mockery, because I will admit some of these people play the role so good, because Landon, for example, he portrays a gay man on the haves and the have-nots and Hit the Floor on BET, but he's actually married in real life and to a woman. So yeah, I mean, I can see where the disgruntlement is coming from, because from both sides, people who think there are too many gay people on the show, but then you have gay people who feel like they're being misrepresented on a television show. My thing is, it really isn't about skin color or sexuality or whatnot. It's about a story that's being told. If it's being told well, I don't really care who's in it. But if their role is vital to the course of the series and the story of the movie, then I'm all for it. Go ahead. But I do feel like when it comes to Justin, it isn't about him being gay or not being gay because he's confused, I guess is the best way to put it. I think he's just delusional. If anything, he's just like the knockoff brand of Veronica. Somebody who is trying to control Jeffrey is delusional, and really their story needs to be fleshed out more because they're becoming quite stale, in my opinion. So when asked the question, are there too many, gay characters on the show? Told in a good light in regards to their story, because look at Justin and Landon. Not really counting Madison because I don't think we've seen enough of the character on the show to really pass judgment. It's just that the stories being told with the gay characters on the show, I don't think are being told well because their characters seem a bit one-dimensional. Justin being like a knockoff version of Veronica, and Landon just being a rehash of season 1 Jeffrey pining after a straight man. So, I mean, if anything, I could see why gay viewers would be mad, because if anything, it makes it seem like, well, people have crushes on everyone. I mean, like, straight guys have, I believe they call it guy crushes or man crushes, and then women like, hey, I'm straight, but I have a woman crush on somebody, and so having mainly gay characters pining after straight people, I could see why there would be some backlash for that. So yeah, again, I feel like by the end of this video, I feel like good discussion. Like, to be honest, I didn't find it very disturbing at all. I thought it was a valid concern amongst the fan base. So yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and comment your thoughts below so we can have a healthy conversation. That's what it's all about, folks. If you don't like the fact that there are gay people on the show, tell your thoughts, but let's keep it civilized. All right, in the world we live in today, there's enough hate going around. Let's just have a good conversation. As I said before, it's not really about what kind of person is on the show, race, gender, sexuality. It's about whether or not a good story is being told. That's all I gotta say. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll talk to you all soon.